Okay. Now this one's Itsy Bitsy Spider. And he goes climbing. Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout and washed the spider out. Son, Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spider. There you go. Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain, washed the spider out. Came the sun. And he's a-climbing. Climbing. Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain, washed the spider out. Came the sun, dried by the rain. Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again. Here we go. Come on. He's a-climbing. Climbing. Didn't make her stop. Start. Made it to the top. Yay! Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain, washed the spider out. Came the sun, dried up all the rain. Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again. All right. The Very Noisy Night by Diana Hendry. And the illustrations are Jane Chapman. Oh, look here. Look at him, he's asleep. It doesn't sound noisy, does it? Oh, let's see. It was the middle of the night, and Big Mouse was fast asleep in his big bed. Little Mouse was wide awake in his little bed. Big Mouse, called Little Mouse. I can hear something. Rushing around the house, huffing and a-puffing. Huffing and a-puffing. Big Mouse opened his eyes in one ear. He said, "It's only the wind." "Can I come into your bed?" asked Little Mouse. "No," said Big Mouse, "there isn't room." And he turned over and went back to sleep. Okay. Little Mouse lay listening to the wind, and then suddenly, between a huff and a puff, came a tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Little Mouse climbed out of bed, opened the front door just a crack, and peeked out. Whoosh went the wind, but there was no one outside. Big Mouse, called the Little Mouse. "I can hear someone tapping. Perhaps there's a burglar on the roof." Big Mouse got out of bed and opened up the bedroom curtains. He said, "Look, it's only a branch tapping on the window. Go back to sleep." "Can I come into your bed?" asked Little Mouse. "No," said Big Mouse. "You wiggle." You wiggle. Little Mouse lay in his bed and he listened to the wind a-huffing and puffing and the branch a-tapping and tapping. And someone started calling out, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo." Little Mouse climbed out of bed again. And this time he looked under it. And then he looked in the closet. And feeling very frightened, he cried, "Big Mouse, I think there's a ghost in the house and it's looking for me. It keeps calling out, hoo, 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 hoo." Big Mouse sighed, got up, and listened. He said, "It's only an owl. It's awake like you." Little Mouse says, "Can I come into your bed?" Sit down, Cadence. "No," said Big Mouse. "Your paws are always cold." And Big Mouse pulled the blanket over his head and went back to sleep. Shh. Little Mouse got back into his own bed, and he lay and he listened to the wind a-huffing and puffing, and the branch was a-tapping, and the owl was hooting. But, shh, what was that? Big Mouse, he called. "I can hear a drip. It's drip, dripping. I think it's raining outside." And Little Mouse jumped out of bed and fetched his red umbrella. Big Mouse got out of bed too. He opened the front door. He said, "Be quiet, wind. Be quiet, branch. And be quiet, owl." But they didn't listen. Then Big Mouse went into the kitchen. He turned off the dripping tap and put away the umbrella. "Can I come into your bed?" asked Little Mouse. Big Mouse says, "No, you're nice and snug in your own bed," said Big Mouse. And he took him back to the bedroom. Little Mouse lay and listened to the wind a-huffing and a-puffing. The branch was tapping, and the owl hooting. And just as he was beginning to feel very sleepy, he heard, "Wee, wee, wee! Big Mouse," he called. "You're snoring." Oh, no. Big Mouse was snoring. Wearily, Big Mouse, that's just like that. Big Mouse got up. He put his earmuffs on Little Mouse's ears, and he put a paper clip on his nose, and he went back to bed. Now, Little Mouse lay and listened. He didn't hear nothing. It was very, very quiet. He couldn't hear the wind huffing, or the branch tapping, or the owl hooting, or Big Mouse snoring. It was so quiet that Little Mouse felt he was all alone in the world. He took off his earmuffs. He got out of bed and pulled the paper clip off Big Mouse's nose. Big Mouse, he cried. "I'm lonely." Oh. Well, Big Mouse flung back his blanket. He says, "You better come into my bed." So Little Mouse hopped in, and his paws were cold, and he needed just a little wiggle before he fell fast asleep. Well, Big Mouse lay and listened to the wind huffing and puffing, and the branch was tapping, and Little Mouse was a-snuffling, and soon he heard the birds waking up, but neither of them heard the alarm clock, because what are they doing? What's Big Mouse and Little Mouse doing? They go to sleep? Did they finally go to sleep? Yes. Oh, look at them. And what do we say at the end of the book? The end. Okay, guys. We got 2 things you're going to make this morning. One of them, you're going to make your little alligator. Okay? And then, you know what this Sunday is? It's Father's Day. So you're going to make your daddy, or maybe even Grandpa, a Father's Day card. Okay? Yay. All right, let's come over to the table. Yeah, looky there. I'll see you next Monday at 10:30, okay?